Hey, Minik. You can't hear anything? Can you hear me? Make sure you're not muted. It looks like it's streaming okay. It should be like lo-fi hip hop in the background and maybe my voice hopefully. Uh that works. Yeah. Weird. Got my little ping tuber guy set up too. Oh, good, good, good. Hey, how's it going? Good evening. Trying to find a game flow that works because this is so far. Thanks. It's a good platformer, but there's a whole aspect of like I want to build, right? So part of it is kind of like you go through the platforming levels and you find materials and other level elements, and then you put the game into design mode like this, where you get this little cursor, and like let's say there's some house pieces here, and let's just put those out. So that's not gonna let me do this. I want to do like, but basically you have like pieces, and you build out the pieces for a level. Like, oh, I'm gonna build a house. So I'm gonna build a town. This big, just straight plains is gonna be a town here. So I can craft wall pieces and roof pieces, and then I can make it so I can like jump up on the roofs and get some verticality. So you build out the world by crafting things in a platformer type way. And then based on how you build your town, like if I build some houses, um, they'll be empty inside. I can attach a door to it, then enter the houses. But maybe tomorrow when I come back, there will be an NPC who's interested in living in the house. So I'll invite them in, and I can turn the house into a shop and make sure that the house is like supplied with enough items for them to sell in and out throughout the day, and then they give a portion back to me in coins and that kind of stuff. So the main mechanic here that I have is this pick up and throw. And that's for most of the items, right? So like you can do crafting and stuff, you can do gardening and plant some stuff and etc etc. Yeah, that's it was really important for me for it to be seamless. But it's hard not to make it too complicated, I think is what I'm struggling with. So like these little got these little toy capsules will have like building elements inside of them, and then when I push a button, do you see that it'll like explode it out into like build mode, and then I can pull it back out of my inventory and go into build mode. Probably too complicated than what I want it to be though. Start building stuff. And you get random stuff, but I'm trying to find a door or a roof. Yeah, it's not so bad, but there's things like, okay, so like if I have this, a door, should I be able to throw it? Do I have to put it in place? Like immediately when I take it out, does it go into design mode? Do I have to like use the item first for it to go into design mode? And if not, then do I just have little items running around in these toy capsules? I think I just need to figure that out first. So maybe we'll do this. We'll put inventory bag. We'll have having these. Let's do capsules. Yeah, it just gets a little complicated. Like I want it to be really easy. So then, okay, so right now the controls are, I've got the bottom button for jump, the right button picks up and throws, the left button consumes. If it's a consumable item like an apple, it'll eat the apple or eat the piece of fruit. Um, so it gets a little weird. So like a rock, you can't really use it. You can pick up and throw. It's just a material though. So then I have to wonder, like, do you automatically collect it? Which I kind of want to add it to the inventory. You could push down to put stuff in your inventory. Um, but if you push the use button there'll be like a little item in here. It'll go into display mode and give you the item. And then from there you can move it around. Eat the rock. Not a bad idea. Eat the wood. Oh, I'm not exactly sure if I want to do it. I think this works, but it's not as smooth as it needs to be. I can't seem to get a roof out of these. Even the flow to get this, I have to push. I'm on an Xbox controller, so Y opens up the menu, right, B picks it up, X makes it appear, and then A picks up and pushes the item again. It feels like too many like confusing button presses. Part of me wonders if I should have like non-consumable level building elements. So like imagine if in there's two inventories. There's like a build mode inventory and then maybe just your regular inventory with all the buttons down here, kind of Zelda style, or like Stardew style, or we've got your inventory, and then the triggers will just change your palette, and then you can push a button and just make that thing appear on the screen without having to go through like the trouble of this, like messing around with the capsules on the screen. Because I don't know if there's a benefit to having that, right? Maybe there is, but I don't know why you would want to pick up and throw around a level element besides just having a vehicle of collecting them in the level. Like maybe when you pick it up and put it in your inventory, it just goes into your level building inventory. I don't know. So you have like a collection inventory and then like a level building inventory. You get the idea of building. It's pretty easy. What I do like about having this build mode is eventually like here, let's show what let's do an example. So let's look up the door and everything will be like highly customizable. So let's have an action called on click. For here, it'll say, sprite index equals sprites index equals 0. I don't know if there's a better way of doing this system. I wish there was, like toggling, having like a tracker through an array and then being able to push it through. Um, sprites index plus or equal to 1 if sprites index is greater than array length sprites sprite index equals sprite index. And then we'll have it so selection on cursor. I called it. We'll find out. Door. Not a door. Not a door. A door. All these walls. They're not. I just got unlucky. Got everything except the one I needed. There's a door. So I should be able to, like, this is what I want by customizable. Like, I want to be able to hover over it and then just push a button. Oh. On cursor click. Selection. The error that I got. Variable index at range. Sprite index equals sprites index. Let's try this again. Door, nope. Door, nope. Door, nope. Door, nope. Door, nope. Unlucky. Door, yes. Okay, so I can hover over it and then push a button. Do you see how, and then I can like change the color of it just by the push of a button. So I want to have like a customizable aspect of each one too. Like maybe it's different shapes door, different color door, but it just means I can like rapidly design these levels. Put a house on there. Oh, I want to change the color of that door. Oops, there's no on cursor click for the wall, but you get the idea. So I can go through and quickly add variations for different objects. Yeah, but I still haven't found like I just don't know. So like if I want to, can I only, let's say your inventory is full and you've got, so I can't like take any more, right? I'm in design mode. What should happen if I want to like delete this? You could have like different variant set styles to cycle through. Yeah, that's the idea. I've actually got quite a bit of assets to work with, and I already had that in mind with different like color variations or different styles. You can see even like the mushrooms have um, like a solid or a spotted print. The bushes have different colors. There's different wood colors. The doors are different like on each one, so you could really just get like one element and then customize it to how you want. Um, for just some nice, lot of window variations. I'm still going through all these, but lots of different wood types. Kind of, you could really build quite a bit of level types just based on, a few elements. Mushrooms, different types. I think the logistics that's bugging me is like, okay, so if each of these roofs are technically two placed items, what does their item form look like? Is it a capsule with the roof in it? And then I can just, like, can I hit a button and then this pops back into a capsule and then I have to go and collect it like in play mode again? Or should I be able to pocket it directly? Well, a delete prompt is fine, but what if I want to, like, put it back in my inventory, but my inventory is full? Do I have to wait till my inventory is empty before I can suck it back up again? Or, you know what I mean? Do I like, let me show you what I mean. So if I say I push, I think I actually played with it already. With use, okay, yeah, so here's one option is here's a door, right? I have a door and I don't want this door here anymore. Whether I want to get rid of it entirely or back in my inventory is irrelevant. I just don't want it here. I can push a button and it goes away, which is fine. So does it go back into my inventory or somewhere else? And what if my inventory is full? Can I not delete it? Like I need an empty inventory to suck it back up? Or do I do this where I've got this wall and I suck it back up into the ball and it turns into the ball again? I know it's different items, but you know what I mean. And then do I just keep them here? Then if I want it back in my inventory, I gotta go pick it up and then poof it back in my inventory if there's space available. I'm not sure what the best idea is here because it seems like an extra step. It just doesn't feel totally intuitive to me. And like here, like if I want to get another item out of my inventory, it's kind of a pain to like exit design mode, go back into it, pull out a capsule, find the right one, pull out the capsule, push design just to get it in here. Like it feels like I should have like a little menu in here and be able to just tap a button and have it appear in the middle. Like I feel like there should be a shortcut. Like or maybe it's two different things. Like maybe you can click on it to get a sub menu. Like to pick up and throw is move it. To the bottom one is exit design. I think that makes sense. I have one button. Maybe the next one is a context sensitive. Um, huh. I've got an idea of like, what if to turn it back into the ball, or to, what if I push, if there's spot, um, Alright, so here's my wall. If I push the inventory button, it goes back into the inventory. If I'm hovering over an item, if I'm not hovering over an item, it should open up that inventory. That might be a nice way of doing it. And then the balls you can just pick up and throw, but when you use them, it auto puts them into design mode. That way you don't have to place the item before going into design mode. Oh, that might work out really nicely. So let's do this. If there's a cursor, I push it. If there's a selection, with the selection or else, X, Y, J, and then we'll choose Alright, so if I push it off, it creates a door or something in my inventory or a wall. But if I push it over it, it puts it back into my inventory. You see how much faster that is? That way you're not fighting the tools there. And then of course you shouldn't be able to place faster too. It's a relief. How the roof never wants to spawn. Fun. Just build a little town and then yeah. Oop. There's a lot of depth stuff I'll have to address, but I can dig it. This is nice. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. So I actually have another game on itch that this was inspired by. I've been working on getting it to a usable state for quite some time. Looks like it's hidden on itch now. I've remade it so many times. Like I'll show this off. So the idea was you build your towns, and you don't actually control. It's not actually a platformer. It's more like, kind of think about it like a Tamagotchi. That's probably the best way of thinking about it. Sorry, my air conditioner kicked on. Let me know if it sounds like I'm in a wind vacuum. Um, but you have all these building elements down here that you can click on, you hover over, and these guys are just kind of like along for the ride. They spawn based on how you build uh, your elements. You can right click and pan across and stuff. So it was all a point and click. I wanted it to be available on mobile phones and that kind of stuff. Hey, is it Carsey? Good to see you. Love the Gamemaker community. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're more than welcome here. You remember this, Medic? So this is kind of like the next iteration of that, where you got all these building elements and you can stretch them out, but you get to be really creative with like what you wanted to consider a house, right? Could really be anything you wanted, and it was fun to stretch it and like create new stuff. So my idea, the next thing was this was fun, but it wasn't super engaging, right? Like it was fun to make stuff, but then it was like, now what? I think people really want to like play more. So the idea, the next thing after that was to have like a character that could collect resources and actually like live in that world, and you're just that character that walks around in it. Um, so this was just kind of basically a prototype here. But what I did like about it is how quick you can just a level just like popped up. And I want to do that. And point and click is a lot easier to build because you can go in and out of your inventory really easily. Everything's just one action. One action. Pick up, click, drag, push. Pick up, click, drag, push. It's all just one thing. So here, or in that other demo, you can just, you know, click an element and then just move it around. But this one, you know, you've got gravity and, you know, there's a lot more to it. You have an inventory, and it presents challenges with like how easy you're able to access the stuff in it. Um, but I don't think there's anything quite like it, so I think there's potential in the idea. It's gonna really have to depend on how easy it is and how friendly it is to build, or else people aren't just they're not gonna want to do it at all. I do like the way this feels though. It is nice just like poofing stuff out of existence. Like, oh, it's stressing me out. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. And then there will be things like in the inventory you'll have a seed, and you'll pick up and throw the seed in a pile of dirt, for instance. Um, you know, then water it, and then the next day you'll come. The background on here, by the way, is a real-time day and night filter. So because it's 10:22 p.m. where I am, it's about 10:22 in the sky. You can see the background here. So it's a real-time night and day thing. So this is something that once a day you'll go and participate in. You know, all your resources will respawn, that kind of stuff. You go and collect, you recraft, you come back tomorrow and see who's visiting your town. It's like Mario Maker meets Animal Crossing, I think was kind of the inspiration here. Weird as that is a split. You can do the same thing for the roofs too. Let me. What's up, Shirkan? Ragnarok online scripter for private servers. Super cool. I love to see a lot more tools made with it. I think GameMaker is super robust, and I actually have made a few tools myself with it, so that's pretty cool. I don't think there's enough people streaming development of their GameMaker stuff. There's a lot more that I'd want to do, but yeah, come and hang out. We're just closing some stuff up. Um, why work? Oh, because I changed the use, maybe. Did I change it? Did I changed it? That's okay. But I rest selection with selection. Can't express enough how exciting to wait till tomorrow. Mechanics are to me. Yeah. I came from a fighting game background, so you can imagine the kind of patience I have generally speaking when it comes to games. I like fast, in your face, bright and flashy, super stylized, like Marvel vs. Capcom to me is like peak fighting game. Uh, I just like the really bright, energetic kind of stuff. And then pandemic hit, and Animal Crossing came out, and I started playing it as a joke. And I ended up taking it kind of seriously, and I got super into it like everybody did. And I started a Twitter with my Animal Crossing Island and design tips and that kind of stuff, and it kind of showed me what a game like that could be. And it was so exciting. I never time traveled, I never skipped levels, I did everything by the book, I never did any exploits or cheats. And it was so rewarding and it was so exciting. I tell you how exciting it was to like tell Tom Nook I wanted to build a new bridge, and then like I wanted to wake up at 5 a.m. every day so I could like see my bridge and celebrate with my villagers. Like it's such a weird feeling I never thought I would have, but I enjoy it so much. And well, I don't want to force gameplay to slow down that much. I think there is something really nice about dripping content in periodically. So if people just have 10 minutes a day or less to spend on the game to play, to get in there, collect their coins, see what's new in the shop and leave, like that's really cool. I have a super busy life and that's just the kind of game that I want to cater to now. Super rewarding. There, now I can change my roof colors. Super easy. So I can change my roofs. I love Gamemaker pipeline workflow, and I tried myself, many game engines, even Godot, but GM is the only one I feel at home with because it sort of reminds me of scripting in Ragnarok Online. Yeah, Gamemaker is very quick to prototype and just to go from new project to get something running very quickly. It's a very rewarding program. I actually just started learning Godot because if I wanted to start learning 3D, um, I believe Gamemaker is not the right tool for it. Um, So I just started learning Godot just for fun, but Game Maker is always going to be my home. I love Game Maker. The developers are um, smart and dedicated to producing a nice product. AC was my pandemic game too, and having that mechanic made the days more interesting. Yeah. Um, what timing that was, right? The game was in development for like 6 years or something like that, and then it came out during a pandemic. It was like the perfect length game to get through a pandemic. You could spend all day on it. And Lord knows I did. My family was so patient with me. I'm so glad. Everyone was just trying to get by, and I took to playing Animal Crossing. I've never played in my adult life. I've never played so many video games in my life. So like for so long every day. I loved playing Animal Crossing. That was so much fun. I don't even know if another one came out if it would have the same impact as that one did on me. Just because it was like right place, right time, like the perfect game. But it did teach me a lot about the kind of games I wanted to make and kind of games I have time for. This is kind of working for me. I do want a way of like right now it's just like a random one comes out, but I think it would be nice to have like an inventory at the bottom that you can kind of use here. Maybe the top triggers, your inventory. Um, and since we have Gamemaker users in the house, I want to share with you something that I did for this project that I don't normally do, but I don't know if I'll go back now, and you're gonna laugh because you'll notice that as a state system, instead of having one object for my character with lots of different states, um, I have one object for each state, and then I use instance change to swap between them, which I know is controversial, but I've kept an open mind and I've used it, and I've got almost no errors, and each state has very clearly defined events, like when they start and when they stop, and I still inherit from a parent. So if I need to make a call just to that parent, I can, and it's worked out surprisingly perfect. And given I've rocked both ways, I've had complicated state machines separated out by regions and a big long thousands of lines of script. And I think separate instances and instance change is the way to go for me. I think this is just working for me, so I'm gonna run with it. So what I want to do, should organize everything. Give me 1 second. So let's do double creating stuff. That's okay. Capsule. Yeah, you know what? I was playing. Don't do this. I'm gonna put sort just because I don't think I can actually work with all this crap in here. It's gonna drive me crazy. Don't do that ever. Shame on me. Not organized well at all. Um, I was playing the template for Windy Woods. I want to see like, oh, do they do states of like jumping, falling, and they have like three objects or so for the main character, and I was like, wow, they didn't really want to explain how to do states, so instead they just use the native functions and like that do it anyways, and I think it works. Um, and I was thinking about it, and you don't really have to explain the systems that are working. Like anyone can go in and look at, I think his name is Chip's object, and you can see exactly what it's doing, when, how, why. It's got simple like collide with coin, collide with this. It just works. It feels really good, in my opinion. And at first it seems really simple and elementary, but it is. And I think that's the beauty of it. Like, why wouldn't you want your code to be simple and clean? And like, you don't need comments if it's just a couple lines. It's super easy. So I was kind of inspired by that. Whether it works or not permanently, we'll see. But it's worked really, 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 really well for me so far. So I'm gonna run with it. I'm gonna call this story slot. Um, do I have one of these made already? By 16 box. Yeah, I think it is. There are some quirks like every other system, but I don't I think they're workable. It seems to work really nicely for me, so I will choose to be an advocate for instance change, even though it can be a little scary working with it. Got like 20 minutes before I should head off to bed, so let's do this quickly enough for it to be fun. Do anything with it. Okay, so inventory slot. Lay some of them down first. I hate that it lines up with. I'm actually gonna by 8. What? Why did? Look at this. It's like the origin's in the upper left, but it's like it's weird. It was moving it not on the grid. Gamemaker, you're special. Let's just roll with this for now. I have one called inventory. This one I'm not so sure I have, so let's make one. By 20. Some of the one tray is over optimized, but at the end of the day, the player doesn't see. Yeah, that's exactly true. If it works, it works. Yeah, like, I consider myself, like, I know ins and outs of game development. Like, I know enough about it to um, say, like, yes, I know how to develop games just in general. And when I play a game, even still, like, I'm just so enthralled with the game, nobody stops to think, I bet you this was coded really cleanly. Like, we're just playing the game, right? So nobody really cares at the end of the day, unless you're working with a large team and have standards and all that. Like, who cares? Do what you're gonna do anyways. Nobody else is gonna see this code. If it works, it works. You know what? The good enough mentality is important to finish anyways. I call it. Oh, it's so embarrassing. Box select UI box button order. Oh, box select. I'm blind. Um, here. Okay, so put equals input get input. If input dot right trigger press. I think I did right trigger. Like, that's not what I called it. Right toggle. Why'd I call it that? My assets are shown. Oh, look at me. X plus or equal to, let's see, I did it by 16 across plus 8, 24. X is greater than room width. That does sloppy code. Off by 1. It's okay. Now I'm back. That's fine. I don't need to roll over right now. I double bordered it too, which looks strange, but I'm just gonna roll with it for now. So let's do, yeah, the minimum viable product. I'm well familiar. Um, Inventory index equals 0. Brace equals place xy obj ui. Okay, and then in here, let's add a variable definition. Inventory index. And then I think the inspector here will help. One. Y'all aren't using inspector, get on that, because the way of the future, Gamemaker is going to be a big deal, even more than it is. All want to be part of that. All right, so move it across. What I want to happen from here is I have to add, like, I can't just like real quick add an inventory. It's such a pain, right? I started equals a apple obj log obj item. If okay, let's see. Inventory index is less than. Right. Let's get this mixed up. It's 0x. Alright, Apple log. By default is 0. Right? Item log. Oh, radish is second. Where's the radish? There it is. Okay. Oh boy. Kind of complicated. So why don't we do this? If look kid change obj look kid bus and then we'll say I don't even know if this will work. Let's give it a shot. Look. Okay. Oops. Can't go to range though. So I think that'll throw an error, which is fine. If it's not -1. Inventory slot, inventory index. Index is less than global dot array length global dot inventory. Else. Actually, here's what I need to do. There. That's oh, I get unlimited. It's funny. Never like stress tested this. It's a lot of objects on screen, and every single item has collision, like advanced collision. I can see like what objects hopped on the heads of others, what's overlapping, what's colliding with the grass underneath, what texture it has. So for there to be this many is pretty nice. Wait, trigger pressed. Left trigger. Let's do all that. So it should pop it up only, yeah, when I move it now. So all right, let's just test this because let's leave this blank. Infinite radish. Sell all the radishes for a coin each. It don't matter. When I have the idle and I push down, oh no, when it's tossed and I press down. The pickup, so I would do a push global dot inventory pickup dot object index. And if it's that easy, that's amazing. Rock appear. Boom. No. Able to find an instance. Well, I know for a fact it's pickup. It is pickup. So when I push down, Oh, thank you very much. Y'all haven't seen nothing yet. I'm really excited for what's to come out of this. There is an object reference, 42. Able to find an instance. I don't want to push an instance into it though. I want to push. Oh, pick up the object index. Oh yeah, you can't. This is weird. You can't. Okay, so object equals pickup dot object index. It's a reference, and I think I can do this. It'll work. This is I learned this recently. I think. If not, I'm using it wrong. Okay, why not? Enable to find an instance for object index 12. Would this work if I did, instead of object, if I did, what would rock? I should learn C++, ECS. Um, I will tell you right now, I'm nowhere near smart enough for C++. Not a chance. Does it only do that when I have radishes? Look, when I do that to the capsules, the capsules let me do it, but other items don't. Some of them not have object indexes. The issue with the object index. I'm a red pixel to elaborate. I am an artist by trade. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I don't really care to be. I just like making games and the fastest way to it. So C++ is way out of my league. I've got no time to learn all that. Maybe one day in a perfect world, but yesterday was not that day, today is not that day, and tomorrow may not be that day. So maybe sometime in the future. I have a lot of respect for all the coding languages. Um, I just don't have it in me to learn all of them, much less anything more complicated than GML, which isn't already. I'm just pressed for time. I've got no free time on my hands, so learning new things that take a commitment is very tricky. So this works. The problem is, oh, the pickup is the object index, I think. Yeah, that's all it was. I was calling an object index on it. Well, look at this though. Okay, so then I think when I toggle through, I can pick it up again. I shouldn't use ifs because they're branches. The CPU cache doesn't. I don't know if that matters here. The game's working at well above 60 frames per second. That's all I care about. As long as it's running. No need to over optimize. As long as it's working, nobody's gonna play the game and worry about what my CPU cache is doing with branches underneath the scenes as long as it's running 60 frames per second. Hmm. So yeah, I could. have to learn branchless programming. For what benefit? Right trigger press. That's fine. Oh, Manic, that's really funny you call that out. I don't even realize I do it anymore, but I have called that out on the tweet before that I'm just like save, 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 play, stop, save, 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 save. It's just like a weird tick. Or do you do the same, or is that just a weird quirk of mine? There's got to be other people that do it too. I mash on that save button like nobody's business. Like it's just easy to push Control S. But that's not me. Save, 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 save. There should be an emote in the YouTube chat, like a little save icon that's just being mashed on. If I throw it, pick up pressed, and I instantiate it, then global.inventory. It's a -1? I guess I could. Oh, this makes me really nervous. Okay, so let's pick up a rock. Oh, invalid reference. Spray kit argument 1. When I throw it. Draw line 7. Is that what it said? Inventory slot line 7. Wait, what? Oh, inventory slot. Um, one. Right. Throw. Throw. Okay. Follow the rock. I'll see it's. What is it? Throw it. Spray equals. Spray it. Oh. It toss 0.96. Need to get to bed. Let's cross your fingers and hope for this. Pick it up. Throw it. Oh, look at that. I I can use stuff in my inventory now. Nice. Throw it. Pick it up. Swallow it. Oh, you know what it doesn't do though? I need to do some more advanced inventory checks. I need to spend some time making that inventory look really nice tomorrow. So what I'll do is I will make it so you could pick up. Yeah, if you try and throw nothing, that makes sense. Okay, so at least I have a game plan. Let's add a note like nobody does. Do 10:15. One, the inventory management system really sucks. Clean it up. Make empty spots in the inventory as placeholders. Throwing an item from your inventory. Actually, it should. Throwing an item from your inventory should reduce its quantity. Take it out of your inventory. Pocketing an item should add it to the next available empty spot in your inventory. Um, Inventory slots should contain an item struct, not an object index. There won't be objects for every asset, but there will be struct. Inventory struct will contain an item type and a quantity and maybe a very in sorry, item struct. Item struct will contain sprite, icon, behaviors, and be across the game. The inventory management system sucks. Makes empty spots as placeholders. Thrown empty should reduce it. Um, Removing an item from your inventory should pull it out above your head, reduces quantity, take it out of your inventory. Pocketing an item should add it to the next available and return you to idle. Inventory slot should contain an item struct, not an object index. An inventory struct will contain an item type and a quantity, maybe variation, an item struct. Okay. Love ya. Self-love, you know? Alright, I'm gonna end this stream here. It's late. I gotta get to bed. Got work in the morning. You know, adult stuff sucks. Thanks you all for joining. I had a lot of fun. Thank you all for participating in chat. Makes all the difference. Hopefully I will get to do this soon again. If you need to know when, you know how it goes. Like, comment, subscribe, and you'll be notified whenever I'm online. I would love to build a community, and I know this game will continue to evolve. And hopefully, I'd like to get it to a point where I can have like weekly builds and just add one or two things to it and just have everyone get their hands on it, because there is something to play in this game every day. And the building element makes me want to release it earlier than later so you guys can play with it and build levels. And I want to see what you build and you tag me in it. And um, I'm not the most creative person on the planet, but I know you all are, as a collective are. So keep us updated as well. Thanks so much for joining, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.